We are in a recession. Now, coming up in my argument, I'm going to prove to you that this is part of a plan. It's called the Cloward-Piven strategy. And this is one of those days where I've got more video clips than I know what to do with. But the Biden administration is standing in front of every camera and every microphone saying, no, this is not a recession. Watch Karine Jean-Pierre.
We're seeing, what we're seeing is that we are in a transition. We had this strong economic growth because of the work that this president has done in the past 18 months. And now what we're seeing is a transition into stable and steady growth.
It's a transition. It's not a recession. It's a transition. Joining us for the first time on the program, she represents Texas's 34th congressional district, the far-right Latina, as the New York Times branded her. Mayra Flores, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, during your election, the liberal left northeastern establishment media was pretty sure that voters in your district were more concerned about Latinx than inflation. I think they found out the hard way that's not true.
They sure did find out the hard way. My district had not been Republican in over 150 years. The Democrat Party took us for granted, and we put our values first, and we focused on the issues that really mattered to the district, and that's why we were successful in the special election, and that's why we're confident that we're going to win the re-election, because we know what really matters to our district.
This officially is now a recession. They can't argue that it's not. They can't say, well, we'll wait and see what the numbers say. The numbers are out. This is officially 2 quarters of negative GDP. Gas prices are still through the roof. Baby formula is still in short supply. Food prices are rising. What are you hearing from the district back home?
Unfortunately, it is a recession, and I wish it wasn't. I wish that we were doing a lot better. Because of this recession, we are hurting tremendously, and it doesn't matter if you're Republican or a Democrat. We're all hurting, and everyone in South Texas is worried about the economy. They're worried about how they're going to pay their rent, how they're going to, get groceries, how they're going to get gas. These are the things that concerned everyone, not just in Texas 34, and that's the biggest issue for us, and I'm sure it is for everyone.
You know, it probably for a district that has been Democrat for well over a century, it almost feels like a joke. How bad is it? It's so bad that 34 went Republican. I mean, we're talking about pain that the American voter hasn't felt in years. I mean, say what you will about Donald Trump. You don't like the mean tweets. You think the guy was a little brash, maybe a little hard to get along with. But who wouldn't trade a few mean tweets for $1.87 to $2 a gallon gas? Inflation that was manageable. An economy that had 7 million more jobs than there were people to fill them, and had the lowest unemployment rate for Black and Hispanic working age Americans. Who wouldn't trade? If we can get in a time machine right now and go back to 2018, who wouldn't come with us?
We all want our lives back. We all want more money in our pockets. And what people don't understand about South Texas is that we have always been conservative. South Texas is pro-God, pro-family. We're all about hard work. That is just who we are. But, I feel that Republicans weren't investing in this area prior to 2020, but I'm glad that the Republican Party is now investing in the Hispanic community, and that understand the importance of investing in the Hispanic community, a community that is worth fighting for and that is already conservative. And again, that's why we were successful in the special election, because we invested in South Texas and we focused on the issues that matter deeply to us. The economy and our values, and of course the border crisis is something that is also very important for us. We don't have to see it on TV. It's something that we live it every single day.
Texas is an energy producing state. You guys have wind and solar, right? Nobody's against adding wind and solar to the portfolio. But basically what the Democrats are saying, they want to destroy the oil industry in your state that is tied to thousands and thousands of jobs.
And because of that, so many family members of mine actually also lost their jobs. And it's not just my family, of friends and our neighbors. This is really hurting us deeply in South Texas. And that's another reason why people are turning away from the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has just gone so far left. They've completely abandoned the Hispanic community's values. They have completely abandoned the American people. And that is the reason why every single day more people are voting Republican. But, people also in South Texas are voting for me, not just because I'm Republican, but because they resonate with my story. I was born in Burgos, Tamaulipas, Mexico, and blessed that I was able to come here to the United States legally, a farm worker, became a respiratory care practitioner. I'm a proud Border Patrol wife and a mother. And this is not just my story, but so many of us in South Texas have a similar story, and they want real change in South Texas. They're tired of being taken for granted.
I got to ask you, because I don't like talking about demographics when it comes to candidates or voting. I think we vote for the best candidate with the best ideas. Absolutely. But the New York Times branding you the far-right Latina. My first reaction to that was, did you guys not realize how bad deplorables backfired on you? You are creating, and it's not just you. It's Cassie Garcia, it's Monica De La Cruz, it's Alexis Martinez, and others that are running. Yesli Vega, Dr. Mariela Roca didn't win her primary, but she did very well. There is a new group of young Hispanic women running as conservatives, and to insult you, I don't understand who thinks this is a good idea.
They're so out of touch. They don't understand our culture. They don't get it. They continue to tell me, how can you vote Republican if you were born in Mexico? But they don't understand that we are raised with strong conservative values to always put God and family first. That is who we are. And no, we're not far right. That is just not who we are. And thank God in my district, we don't have people that are far left or far right, We have common sense in South Texas and with strong conservative values. And I'm just so proud to be representing Texas 34 in Washington, and to finally have a real voice that really does reflect the values of South Texas.
What's amazing is I see all these left-wing writers saying, you're a flash in the pan, you won because people are upset right now. They're going to come to their senses. They're going to elect a Democrat in November. I don't see anything that's going to happen between now and November that's going to make these districts that we know are going Republican, in your case went Republican, that are going Republican. I don't see anything changing between now and November.
Nothing is going to change. And look, the far left has claimed that they're for immigrants, that they're for women. And I am an immigrant, I'm a woman, and yet they don't support me. I've only received but hate. They actually want to deport me back to Mexico. They continue to make racist comments like that. My opponent stated that because he was born in Texas, he's more qualified than me. He's, hired a blogger to make racist comments and for me to be sexually attacked as well. These people are just so out of touch. They don't know what it's like to be, to be us, your everyday American. They've lived here in Washington for far too long.
Yeah.